I don't like soccer, and I think Ronaldo cheated. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Vazatik. If you're wondering where my hair is, well, I lost a bet with my Portuguese friend on campus that if Ghana loses against Portugal, I was going to shave my hair off. And thankfully so, I was even looking for an opportunity to have a barber. And so I have had to do that. But let's get to business. Okay, guys, in this episode, we are seeking to answer the question, does FIFA have an agenda to aid big name players and teams to remain in the World Cup? Stay tuned. We'll have a short break and then we'll come back. I'll tell you what is in my mind.
By fire, by force,
Since Ghana's match against Portugal, so much has gone under the bridge. This World Cup, FIFA prioritizes business ahead of fair play. You can clearly see, even before the World Cup kick-started, there was a hue and cry by European, the Western media about so-called human rights abuses in the country. FIFA rubbishes that, and they went ahead. Of course, I'm not a culture ethnocentric, so I do not think that the European media, they are justified as well, because people should respect cultures of other people. That said, if look at the Ronaldo issue in particular, before our match, there was so much happening around him. He had been fired by Manchester United, and the media was about that. And of course, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, and this is Cristiano Ronaldo, if you don't know him. And so FIFA looking at that, because they're interested in the business, those two, Ronaldo brings a lot in terms of making pay-per-view revenue, you know. And so you can see how this played out in our match. In the first place, that goal he scored, the penalty, was certainly not a penalty by any means. And it is surprising that in this day and age, that stadium has over 1,000 cameras looking at different aspects. And to suggest that the referee refused to go check on the VAR. VAR and his colleagues monitoring with all the cameras, they know prompting to have a second look at the incident, to just tell you that there was a grand plan. And I'm justifying it because in the end, Ronaldo gets awarded best player of that match. What did he do? You know, those of us who watch the game with the technical eye know that Bruno Fernandes was the star of that Portuguese team. He created both goals. So if Ronaldo got substituted and was on the bench. So how, and first, he dives to get a penalty, which he scored anyway, and then he substituted. He plays little role in the victory, they choked, and then he gets to be best player of the match. There was certainly an agenda at stake, you know, and we're going to look at, let's take a look at the analysis of the penalty incident by referee Mike Dean of the EPL.
I have no idea. I think I watched it on speed at first. I thought that looks like a penalty, but when you dissect it properly, like we just have done, from the referee's angle, it looks like it's
like
a foul.
this.
Yeah, it does.
I get that. I'm not blaming the referee.
It does look like a foul. The get out for the referee is the new thing that's in now, which is VAR, which should get the referee out of trouble, which it should do. In the angle from behind the goal, which you've just seen there, the defender clearly plays the ball, Ronaldo then touches the back of the defender, goes down, instigates a contact. It's not the referee's fault, because referees give the decision on the field of play. The VAR, in my opinion, should have got involved and should have invited the referee over.
Should have invited him over, yeah.
And have another look at it, in my opinion.
You see, the thing that people will argue is, okay, this is a group stage match, right? But if this is a semi-final or a final of the World Cup, and VAR says, well, I'm not getting involved, that's frightening.
It's scary. It is scary, I have to say. I'm just astounded that, I like to back referees all the time, and you can't support stuff like that. You can't defend the indefendable. To me, it should have been an overturn. He should have gone to the screen. He should have looked at. He should have looked at all the angles available. Just can't understand why he wasn't sent to the screen.
So that was wrong.
Invited.
That was wrong.
100% is wrong. Yes.
Okay, now you have heard referee Mike Dean. Clearly, this was not a penalty, and this was cooked from the VAR room with in support of the referee to literally rob Ghana so that Cristiano Ronaldo can make history and then keep the World Cup business going. I've checked the FIFA website. They are excited to announce, even on Facebook, they are all over announcing how Cristiano Ronaldo has scored in 5 consecutive World Cups, and they are making a meal out of it. No mention is made of the horrendous refereeing that took place. This is what Ghana's disappointed coach said. He said it was not a penalty. Okay, now you have heard referee Mike Dean. Clearly, this was not a penalty, and this was cooked from the VAR room with in support of the referee to literally rob Ghana so that Cristiano Ronaldo can make history and then keep the World Cup business going. I've checked the FIFA website. They are excited to announce, even on Facebook, they are all over announcing how Cristiano Ronaldo has scored in 5 consecutive World Cups, and they are making a meal out of it. No mention is made of the horrendous refereeing that took place during the match. My second talking point to show you that this is business is the issue of the third goal. Even the second one was off, but Baba Rahman miskicked, the ball went through his legs, so I'll let that slide. But let's look at the third goal. Clearly, per the FIFA Law 11, and the new regulations that they have brought in going to this World Cup, if your head, shoulder, hand, knee, or foot is slightly ahead of the last defender to the goal, you are deemed to be offside. Unless the ball is passed you by the nearest opponent. Now, if you look at being able to, for an assistant referee, his positioning is very important in being able to determine whether a player is offside or not. I'm going to show you 2 pictures. The first one that you see on the screen is the actual picture showing that the assistant was wrongly placed. He ought to have been in line with the last Ghanaian player at the far end. But you see that the Ghanaian player, he was behind him. So his vision can never be accurate. He can never detect if a Portuguese player is offside. Had he been in line with the Ghanaian defender, he would have easily seen that the Portuguese player was a knee ahead of the last Ghanaian defender and ought to have been flagged offside. Let's look at this picture. Folks, you can see from the picture that the lineman, the assistant, was not in line with the last Ghanaian defender. So his vision was blocked. From the line, you can see that. So had he been online, you would have even seen that that player was off. You can see from the picture you just saw, that is the real match view. Now, the FIFA VRA room put out this second picture, which clearly you can see has been manipulated, and I'll prove it. So you take a look at it. So, hello, folks, you can see that this line, the faint line, is not accurate. It cannot be the line determining the offside. And yet, this is what they put out there. And see the line that is drawn clearly is a diagonal line that they just put through. Ideally, if you are drawing an offside line, it ought to start with the foot of the two players, the last player that you see, which is the Portuguese player. This ought to have been the correct line. This is the correct one. The guy would have been off. You can see from his leg. And look at the way they drew the line. So both players are they are not even close. How do you judge who is off? And where was the last man's position in this picture? It's nothing. Now, see the ideal picture. If they were true to their words and they are interested in fair play, this would have been the picture. You can see the line is touching the Portuguese player's foot and clearly showing him ahead of the Ghanaian player. So he was completely off. And to think that both cases were ignored by VAR should tell you that the football is not just fair play as they claim. There are political machinations behind the scenes because Ronaldo means business for FIFA. And they cannot stand to see him disgraced. Because they know if he gets a fifth goal, that will change the whole narrative about the World Cup. And all the hulabaloo that hang around his sacking from Man U will be put behind. So, quite clearly, Ghana got robbed so that Ronaldo can make a name and then to keep business going at the World Cup. And I've just shown that to you. I don't even talk about Iñaki Williams' case, but these two incidences changed the entire complexion of the game because it dampened the Ghanaian players' spirit. And it's not only Mike Dean, all the media houses, reputable Western media, and famous footballers have called into question this horrendous decision from the ref. No, where's the contact? Don't cheat. It's a shame. If you have enjoyed this, kindly hit the subscribe button, highlighted in light blue, so that you won't miss anything I drop.